Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Better Man Show, where I document my journey in life, love, work, business, and tech. And I do the testing so you don't have to, right? Hi, I'm BK, and obviously, if we're friends, it shouldn't surprise you to know that, or it shouldn't surprise me that you know that. But if we are not friends, wherever I am popping up on the radar, on your radar, do add me as a friend. I'm happy to have you as a new friend. These days, it's always good to make one new friend, right? We're all connected somehow, and I'm happy to get to know you and get to know you as a new friend. And hopefully, you get to know me too. Tonight is a little bit different. I thought I'd take a short break from organized content and just go live and enjoy going live, right? Also kind of taking a short break because the past few days has been intensive workshops for an international conference that lasted for 3 days. And because it was USA time, it was literally from 12 midnight to 10 a.m. in the morning. So still feeling a little bit of the jet lag, just a little bit. So drop me a comment and let me know any tips and tricks that you might have on overcoming jet lag, right? Because if that can help me, I will definitely appreciate that, right? For the past few episodes, I've been talking about how to communicate, how to speak, right? So tips on good speaking. So I thought I'd just get this out of the way first. Day 56. We are on day 56 of a 100-day challenge. So exactly 56 days ago, I started a 100-day live stream challenge. And when it first started, it was inspired by something called 75 Hard by Andy Frisella. That is a personal discipline, self-discipline challenge, right? So that was the reason or the inspiration behind it. But over time, this live stream that I'm doing now has evolved, and it also has become perhaps a platform for me to want to improve on my public speaking, communication, and speaking skills, right? Hopefully, by the end of 100 days, I would have improved somehow, right? I may not be great, but improve, hopefully, right? So, past few days, I've been talking about the 4 steps to good communication. So, step one was having something good to say, right? Lo and behold, if you want to be a good speaker, you want to have a good communication, have something good to say. Step two is then learning to say it well. Step three is um, uh, read the audience. And step four is learning how to layer your words with the adequate amount of emotion. So I kind of wanted to take a step back today and move away from the structured format of all those things, right? For a few reasons, just wanted to kind of chit chat with you and maybe get some feedback from you as well. Let me know what are some of the things that you have, um, some of the speakers that are your favorite speakers. So, what I noticed was this over the past 3 days of the international conference that we are attending. So, we created a chat group among ourselves as friends, right? We kind of chit chat with each other as we go through the training or the presentations. And a lot of them are very good speakers, world class speakers, and so on, right? And all delivered very good content. In fact, we were very fortunate. One of the speakers that we had was Sylvester Stallone, one of my childhood and also current hero, right? I still remember one of the early films I watched for him. It was Rocky. I really loved the show. Right? Nobody can forget the scene when he runs up to the top of the stairs and then punches up in the sky, right? And of course, it was also about a character development kind of story from a thug to uh, someone who was like a hero, right? Also his love story and all that. So everything is in that show, which is great, right? So he was one of the keynote speakers and learned a lot from him. And one of the greatest things I learned from from his presentation, or he was actually more like a Q&A interview, but you kind of get the impression that he's just like us. Yes, he's a superstar. Yes, he has gone through many things, But what he shared with us was that he also went through challenges. He also had to make a decision that I'm going to decide that I want something more for myself, for my family. I have a certain dream, and no matter what, how difficult it is, I'm going to go for those things. And even till today, it's still the same, right? He's still constantly challenging himself, setting different goals for himself, and going for those things. So anyway, back to my point. So a lot of speakers. So one of them obviously was, I was just thrilled to have Stallone, to be one of the speakers. But we had this chat group, right? And we're just chatting among ourselves. What I noticed is that everybody had a different reaction to different speakers, which is normal, I guess, right? Very normal, right? Some loved a certain kind of speaker, a certain style of speaker. Some speakers didn't do so well with some of us, but some were attractive to a broader range. So in general, there were two main kinds, right? One kind was the super energetic, right? Hopping up and down, fist pumping, loudly shouting, and very energetic, right? And in your face kind of speaker. And some people like that. Some people like that. Then there's another kind that is very emotional, as in not that they were like they were not bobbling, nothing like that. But what I mean is that they told stories that were from the heart, very authentic, and I guess if you listen to them and you will shed a few tears, especially if it happened to be very close to your story. So that was another style, which is they deliver a message that tugs at your heartstrings, right? So some people really like that kind. Then there's one more kind that is very cool, very calm. They still bring across the point that they are trying to express, but they can be a little bit more analytical, methodical, and intelligent kind of. Not okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the others are not intelligent, but in the sense that they challenge the way you think about certain things. Kind of speakers, right? So I generally find that there's this three range, right? Personally, my personal taste, my personal preference, I don't really do very well with emotional style. Not sure why. Maybe I need to talk to my coach about this, because that is me, right? I find that I resonate very well with the cool, calm, collected, intelligent, and thought-provoking style, thought-provoking style of speaking, right? In fact, I was just telling a friend just now that I was just asking them like, hey, who was your favorite presenter for the day, for the whole session, right? And I found that I really like one of the new speakers I've never heard before. Her name is Barry Summers. Very interestingly, very cool, very calm, very well delivered, but also yet very thought provoking. But what I noticed for myself is that I tend to gravitate towards numbers in a talk. I'm not sure whether I can. Okay, let's say for example, you are trying to get into an industry, and they're talking about all kinds of things. But if a speaker is talking about industry and then you're able to reveal certain statistical methodology or facts, or the trends of the industry with a very clear number way of describing it, right? I gravitate towards that. Perhaps I'm a numbers person, but I don't like, I'm not like mathematical, but it is interesting. So that's how I've noticed. That's what I noticed about myself over the past 3 days. Of course, without fail, I'm sure you know by now, one of my favorite speakers is Jim Rohn, because he is just witty and funny and thought-provoking at the same time, and not in your face, but yet very direct, right? Sometimes if you listen carefully, what he says can be very harsh, especially if you're not doing the things that you should be doing for you to get to a higher level of success, right? So no punches pulled, but yet he's not trying to punch you, right? So that style of somebody like Jim Rohn is kind of the kind of speakers I resonate with. But having said that, I also find that in line with what Jim Rohn says, don't just, it's like food, it's like your diet. You shouldn't be just eating one kind of food every single day. Then you'll be malnourished, right? Because you need nutrition that is across the board. So I do try my very best to have a mix of books and audibles from different areas, different speakers, different styles, and so on, just to listen to them and learn from them. Now, I'm saying that I kind of gravitate more towards one style, and some of you may gravitate to other styles, right? That's perfectly fine. But even in spite of that, I'm still trying to make sure I have a bit of a exposure to this style, a bit of exposure to this style, right? So let me know in the comments, and who are some of your favorite speakers, some of the people you have listened to and has, you enjoyed listening to them. Oh, and I forgot, Steve Jobs is another one I love listening to. Some of his public presentations are pretty cool, right? That's another one that I enjoy listening to. Recently, I discovered a few others I kind of like. Maria Forneo, she's the author of the book Everything is Figure Outable. She's also quite cool. Yesterday, the lady I just mentioned, Barry Summers, also very cool. So yeah, I need to vary my variety a little bit, which is good, right? Which is great. So let me know, as on my quest to becoming a better speaker, I would love to have more variety and get to know more speakers. And if you have people you love to listen to and you are growing or learning from them, then send them along to me, right? I mean, I would love to take a look at some of them, right? And then everyone can grow together. So happy Monday. Today is the start of the new work week. We are fast approaching the happiest time of the year for many of us, which is Christmas. And then the new year, hopefully 2020 will end in a pleasant note and we can start 2021 in a much, much more interesting way, right? So one of the numbers thing that I heard yesterday that probably was not too optimistic was that somebody said that industry experts kind of project that things won't go back to normal until 2024, which is probably true. I kind of think that it will not be until at least 2022, but they say 2024. So, so this is a huge time of a huge inflection point in our history, in terms of business and humankind. So hopefully, like what we're doing now, we're transitioning from online to offline to online, from public face-to-face meetings to Zooms and live streams and podcasts and all those things. If you do need some help, and my invitation is still open. Some of my friends took me up for it and came to my place. This is my at-home studio. It's not really a studio, it's just a place I set up. Just to find out more about how to get going on their own. I'm happy to do that. I'm also happy to have you as a guest so that we can kind of walk you through, or you can ask questions directly, and also help you get started along the way on the show, right? That would be something that if can help you, I'm happy to do that. So thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.